So Metal Gear is known for its stealth gameplay and hyper-detailed story, but what happens when you let the people behind Bayonetta and Nier Automata make their own game with the brand called Metal Gear Rising Revengeance?
Damn, boy, he's there!
Now MGR was kind of a weird one for me because I knew about it way before anything else in the franchise, as I have this vivid flashback to people showing off exciting gameplay of cutting watermelons at any angle.
And just let the knife do the work.
Well, this game is in the same universe, but you don't need to know the full lore to understand what happens, as it takes place in the far future of 2018. But I finally got to play Rising, where all I know is that it's got really good blade technology.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
So we start with the good old PS3 sniper's favorite drink, Filter,
Peace.
where we see our main character Raiden working for a military company called Maverick, being a bodyguard for a prime minister. And Raiden himself, is this the power of the PS3? Or was he always meant to look like a used napkin? However, one man stands in the way.
That damn smile.
This is Jetstream Sam, a cyborg who with his enhancements and Colgate smile attacks the group, sending us fleeing into another cyborg Sundowner, who I swear, okay, I get it. You got good dental plans. And he utterly wrecks the security. Grabbing the Prime Minister, Raiden gives chase in his super high heels and fights the usual grunts before coming up against the Metal Gear. Oh come on, you can't just try and do that to make the game hi-fi. Okay, I take it back, it's so cool. However, even though we slice it in two, the thing's still alive. Yeah, it's one of those come back to life robot dealies. And I just want to show you some great bit of skill from me. I thought you had to cut the missiles. No, this means you push forward on the control stick, and Raiden will hop on each missile to then Fruit Ninja the Metal Gear. So Raiden chases the kidnappers onto a train, and they do the big brain play of killing the kidnappee. Was that part of your plan? Oh. However, Mr. Grin here challenges us on the train, but his glutes are just too wide. Ow, that's just a mild inconvenience. Sam has his cool blade that rockets out of the sheath, where he cuts our eye and is just toying with us. However, as the train leaves the tunnel, Boris, our boss, comes in to save the day.
Kept you waiting, huh?
That feels very marketable.
Kept you waiting, huh?
So Sam runs off and Raiden, well, he kinda needs a new body. And a new ass, where he's pretty much now a full cyborg complete with robotic jaw, and now Maverick is hired to stop a soup with a C and capture the leader Dolzaev, where I can finally talk about the gameplay, being the usual character action game, with light and heavy attacks, no real dodge button though, but the goal is to break enemies' armor, and with this full meter you can see their exposed limbs, and then in blade mode you got 360 degrees of Michelin star slice and dicing. And no, I'm not joking, you can cut everything any way possible. You see that roadblock? Slice through it and you have it slowly fall off like in those anime. Don't like how the guards are hiding on a higher ledge? Just chop it down. Don't like how this dude is ignoring his Christian values on a Friday night? Just chop his arm off. It was actually so cool seeing the tech I saw way back working for real in this game. And oh look, they even got the watermelons. Alright, who's hungry?
Enemy behind you.
I wasn't asking you! And since cyborgs are hungry things, Raiden slices open his enemies, who are also cyborgs, so that helps you sleep at night since this dude has a robotic leg. He grabs the spine, which gives you back health through electrolytes.
Hold your enemy to counterattack.
Damn, I knew they changed the taste of Powerade recently.
The #1 selling electrolyte sports drink.
You need to do this as you don't get healing items, rather lives. They get used up when your health reaches 0, automatically filling it back up, which is great because it doesn't interrupt the hardcore action, which involves you chopping and slashing, and ninja running around in the super fast parkour system that makes Raiden leap over everything, which can get quite annoying. And then the parry, which actually really isn't kinda taught to you and was so hard to understand at first, so when the enemy glows red, you aim the stick in that direction and hit attack to block the move. And if you do it perfectly, you counter. And you will need to learn how to do this to get through the game. And Raiden isn't alone on the mission, as he gets the codec call with the Maverick team.
Ever eaten Cambodian, Courtney?
What? That's a little random.
I mean, they really captured the MGS style of, you can learn anything you want. Oh, you want to learn about the food in Cambodia? Or the rules of war? Or how Raiden should not attack NPCs?
What are you doing? Raiden, no civilians.
Relax, Boris. Just some custom tailoring.
To you even talking to Courtney on how to save your game. And you have to wonder what happens if she drops the hard drive, which is a trait of hers that I learned from the codex before they showed it in a cutscene. There's this crazy attention to detail in the game, which at least shows they wanted to emulate the style of Metal Gear, and I think they did it perfectly.
New Zealand, the preferred tax haven of megacorps everywhere.
Plus you can customize Raiden with outfits. I picked the one that gives you more health, and you can upgrade your stats and unlock new weapons. So Cyborg Man makes his way through, fighting enemy soldiers and these machines with weirdly muscular legs. That gave me traumatic flashbacks to being in JV Hi-Fi as a kid, standing and watching an MGS4 trailer, seeing those things jump on people, exploding them into a pole. I hate these things so much. Look, it was hard fighting them, so don't be afraid to do the tried and true strategy of hitting once and running away. Wow, action gameplay! Also, while fighting these much bigger enemies, you get quick time events to initiate more brutal takedowns, where you chop their armor or guns to make it feel way more interactive. Well, now we go on to the next boss, a very good doggo, with a chainsaw. It says how its orders are to kill Raiden, but then Raiden does something to him behind the tank, I legit don't know what's happening here, and moves on to fight a helicopter. No, not a cyborg helicopter, a normal helicopter, complete with missile stairs. So neither plant he spies Dolzaev as well as someone else?
Raiden, what's happening? Your heart rate's spiking.
Well, at least we know he still has a functioning human P. Perhaps we should listen to the codec call.
I'm guessing most of her is artificial.
She's got, well, I mean, a couple of huge...
So this is Mistral, one of the Desperado agents. Who is that company the Teeth Men work for?
So Mistral's from Algeria. 80% of it's the Saharan desert, and wow, it was just like you'd imagine. So much sand.
I don't like sand.
We make our way to her and Mistral says how she was an orphan who participated in wars, but eventually was given a cause to fight by one man.
I'm only half French.
Oh, thank God. And she grabs these gremlins to get more arms, and her weapon is a pole made out of arms. I gotta hand it to ya. That's a lot of arms. Ow! And can I just say I absolutely adore the designs in this game so much. I love the whole cyberpunk sci-fi aesthetic, but they feel so stylized, like other anime games. Ooh, I'm a stick. No, cyborgs are giga thick. Be proud of it. Well, we slice and dice, and then Dolzaev is like, damn, that's cold AF, bro, and blows himself up. Yeah, sure, okay. So Maverick learned that the Desperados have a lab in Guadalajara, Mexico, and Raiden as a cyborg would be too conspicuous walking around. He then takes off the disguise in the sewers. So what was the point of that? Oh yeah, Blade Wolf, that doggo, is alive, somehow. And thanks to Raiden helps him out.
Wordplay. My exoskeleton resembles a canine. Canines enjoy bones. Amusing on 2 levels.
So into the sewers to break into the lab, with Blade Wolf running ahead, and I actually thought you'd get to fight alongside him, but no, he is either ahead or behind you in the missions, which is kinda disappointing. So Raiden goes further in and spies a kid named George getting attacked by the machines. And it's quite a unique accent in the video game, with them even showing a translation under the broken English. And it turns out from the codec calls, he's Guyanese, part of South America, which has a 40% Indian population, which is cool to someone who is Indian. And now I know there could potentially be people who are a mix of Indian and South American, and I'm changing the subject because look!
A cardboard box.
I think I'm doing this wrong. So Raiden tells the kid to wait there while Maverick comes to pick him up, which gives us some more banter, trivia, whatever you want to call it.
What do you think a truly intelligent AI could do for the world?
I am not a lizard.
If she snores or she talks loud during movies.
Well, not if she talks during movies. A man's gotta have some standards.
But first you need to take a dump.
Wait, what?
Well, Raiden breaks into the lab and finds these brain eye things, as the lab has been harvesting kids' brains to train said brains in VR to become child cyborg soldiers. That's not the weirdest thing in this game. The company behind this plan is called World Marshal in the USA, and this really grinds Raiden's literal gears. As a former child soldier who is also now a cyborg, so he sets out to save the kids, which involves hacking into a robot to find the server room.
Let's try using it to access the lab server.
Man, they really go all out with the realism. And we see that this whole thing is funded by a US senator called Stephen Armstrong. Gee, I don't think we'll ever hear from him again. So finding the kids, Raiden goes to save them. However, the chief scientist grabs George and holds him hostage while poisoning the kids, and says for Raiden to make a choice on who to save. Raiden, though, is a little unhinged and cuts through George, killing the scientist. Yeah, that's what happened. It was kind of hard to make out on screen. I guess they couldn't show what he was doing. But our doctor saves George and says that we put into cyborg bodies to help them out later. However, since World Marshal is too politically big, Maverick can't do anything about them, not even sending one cancelled tweet with a big hashtag. So Raiden himself goes rogue and travels to the headquarters in Denver.
They import those brains legally, for medical purposes. It's all done.
Being legal doesn't make it right. Good boy.
I will ignore the condescension and take that as a compliment. You are welcome.
Well, in Denver, we meet another enemy type that loved to grab, which was so annoying because you had to waggle the left stick side to side, and I don't know, it's like mashing the spacebar. I just don't like it, Jim. What do you mean your name's not Jim? I'm sure there are a percentage of you who are named Jim, okay?
Copy that.
Also, what the hell?
That's my boy.
So now that we defeated Mistral, we can actually use our arm pole for heavy attacks. And I gotta say, I didn't use anything else. It had an insane 360 reach and would help clear out groups of enemies so easily. I knew it would come in handy. Anyway, Raiden makes his way through till he's interrupted by Jetstream Sam, who questions his goals. Raiden says he wants to protect the weak, but Sam says, what about the cyborgs you're killing? Aren't they also weak? Listen to their thoughts. Man, I hope that TikTok I made gets 10,000 views. And hearing this weakens Raiden's mentality. And oh great, we gotta control him like this now. And we meet the real Sam alongside another desperado, Monsoon, who tells us the reasons for war.
Memes. The DNA of the soul.
If you didn't know, memes have a technical meaning, that they are things that spread through the public consciousness. Like how if you find a funny gift that you send to your friend in Europe only for him to type LMAO, but you know he ain't laughing.
Now there's a pretty meme.
Raiden, however, up to this point, was keeping his killer lust in check, but now after being stabbed, he brings out that other side to him, Jack the Ripper.
I think it's time for Jack to let her rip.
And so we fight Monsoon with this new move, where on a full bar, you can press L3 or R3 to use Jack the Ripper to instantly break opponent's armor. Which, yeah, okay, you got me. I used the mechanics of the game and made it very easy to break mobs down. However, Monsoon doesn't play fair, as his body is segmented. He literally just dodges all your attacks. How does he do it? Also a reminder how I said these bosses, they have quick time events. Well, don't fail them. So Jack slices him.
Your memes. And here.
And yeah, Jack is really hamming up the edgy Ripper voice, which is so hilarious when you do the codec calls that are back to back with the ones in his normal voice.
Raiden, do you know whether...
Not yet. They must be somewhere. Guess all the staff's already gotten out.
Also here you probably picked up some VR missions along the way, which you can access at any time for some challenges, and then it reminded me, oh, there's actually some tutorials that the game kind of skips over that actually teach you mechanics of the game that you should have learned at the start. But there was this one challenge I got, which was run to the end, so I did. I ignored the enemies, and I got the highest score. Was I meant to fight them? What do you think, Raiden?
You buy a shirt you like and put it on. Other people see you wearing it, then buy it for themselves.
Yeah, sure, okay. So now Raiden enters the World Marshal HQ, and upon reaching the server room, we meet Sundowner, who says that in 3 hours, something will happen very far away that will change the course of the world and help fund the war economy, which is where people like him profit off more war. But before saying where it is, he heads onto the roof to fight us. And he's kinda easy. I mean, he just stands there going... and you can just slowly smash and dash him. So it's Sundowner dead. The group work out that it's in Pakistan, that their president is meeting the US one, and an assassination there could be what Sundowner was talking about. But the only way to get there in 3 hours is with a space jet. Yeah, like a commercial spaceship. Look, people in 2013 probably thought the world would be way more advanced in 2018 than what it currently is.
I am not a lizard.
So we have a cutscene with the Doctor and Raiden try to escape but get ambushed, which means Raiden has to stay behind to fight them.
Have a nice flight.
And people say Germans aren't funny.
He then steals a motorbike to drive to the base, but is interrupted by Blade Wolf, who is chatting with Sam about something, and the grinning man wants to fight.
Fancy meeting you here.
Why come?
And oh boy, it's Samurai Showdown, where this fight really taught me to properly parry. And after 20 minutes of this, I kill Sam, with Wolf taking his blade for safekeeping, and the two run to the airbase. You do realize you left the bike? Well, you could ride the wolf! Come on, running in high heels ain't gonna end nicely. So this is Solace, the place with the spaceships, and
Oh, you got each other.
yeah, Anyway, he meets Sunny. I don't know who you are. I guess she's a child prodigy who built the jets probably out of space shuttle parts.
We also joined the C-3PO.
Please save me up too.
Look, it flies, okay? And if you really want, there's codex explaining how they designed the ship using AI models testing different versions over time with evolution creating the most efficient design, becoming the final one they use as the child of the previous designs.
I'm having a hard time imagining aircraft having kids.
And so it launches Raiden and Wolf into Pakistan, where they break into the base and Wolf runs ahead to get badly damaged off screen. I told you, doggo, just stick with me. God, I knew we shouldn't have skipped those dog training sessions.
Good boy.
And with my videos now, I try not to spoil games, but everyone knows the ending by now. It's the best part of the entire game, so I will talk about it, but if you don't want any spoilers, you can just click off the video, click on the other one. Okay. So Raiden inspects what did this, and the ground opens up to reveal a mech spider, and out the top comes the big boss, the one behind the brain program, the one who hired the desperados. No, it's not another crazed cyborg with a troubled upbringing, nor a robot AI gone rogue. It's an American senator who
Played college ball, you know.
and
Could've gone pro if I hadn't joined the Navy.
yep, just an all-American dude. Jesus, that forehead.
Well, if it isn't Saucy Jack.
So Armstrong says that the US military were killed on the base, and the images leaked online, which would mean USA would demand counterattacks, and thus help kickstart the war economy from the war recession. Geez, you really are American.
America #1.
So he has to kill us because we are the witness. Yep, we gotta fight the mech. And yes, you can block its attacks, just ignore me dying over and over. So we eventually cut its legs to reach the top, and Armstrong proceeds to fight us himself. Jeez, dude, I thought politicians hated getting their hands dirty.
Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. I have a dream.
What?
They'll make America great again!
What the hell are you talking about?
So this was hard because Armstrong is just so jacked on that American spirit, and breaks Raiden's blade, which leads to hand-to-hand combat, which ain't going too well. He, however, sees some hope in Jack to join his vision.
I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane!
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
I can't get over this line. It's so iconic. It literally needs to be framed in a museum.
And thinking of eggs reminds me of Sam.
Why won't you die? Nanomachine, son.
So yes, the dude has a nanomachine heart that hardens when near danger, meaning he's unstoppable. But just in time, Wolf appears with Sam's blade, which we use for the final fight, which was one of the toughest fights I've ever had to do in a video game. I was playing this on normal, and a single hit from him takes off a third of your health bar, and I had no lives. A lot of running around and slow hitting. Thankfully, the music was amazing. However, you reach a point where he jumps up and throws rubble at you, and you have to perfectly slice them. And with these button combinations, I can't begin to describe how hard this was. Just look at what you have to press. And if you miss, it does 100 damage to Raiden. However, if you do it 3 times, you get to slice Armstrong and out pops some lives. And with this, I was able to finally do the fight. Till I died.
What's wrong? Anthony!
And I had to spend another hour reaching this point again. I'm not annoyed though, this whole fight was an amazing spectacle. But in the final QTE showdown, you cut out the heart, not before Armstrong says you're just like him, and we crushed the heart, ending the crazed madman. And so apparently the war economy did return, but it's a happy ending since Armstrong won't be running for president, because he's dead. And Maverick establishes a cyborg firm to help the kids get used to their new bodies and lead normal lives. Raiden though resigns from Maverick to continue his own fight, and the game end. And man, that was such a wild ride. I can see why people hyped it up, because this is pretty much hype the video game. I love the setting it showed, and I love learning all these random little trivia things while giving you a story that's pretty easy to follow without the other game's lore, and some crazy fun combat with some amazingly cool character design. But yeah, the biggest flaw I had with this is how short it is, with only 7 chapters. I mean, I just wanted more. And you do get more on PC with the DLC included for free, both prequels. One showing how Sam joined the Senator, using his own fighting style with taunts, and this charged heavy attack that doesn't break when enemies hit you, and you have to fight the Senator in his job interview. Also, it was amusing to learn that Raiden actually stole Sam's bike later on. And the other mission where you control Blade Wolf, who is being trained in VR by Mistral.
Good doggy.
Yes, you see a lot of her. Also, it has a platforming section. Yeah, I don't need to tell you how a 4-legged creature controlling it does not feel very good for this. And so that was Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. An amazing game that we will never get again, because you know, Konami. I still kinda wish Platinum made more games like in this vein. Absolutely balls to the wall, crazy action, instead of their recent output, possibly the most laughable game of 2022. Yes, it's the same director as this one. But yes, this was such a fun experience, and I'm still reeling over how good the music is. It's actually amazing.
Check the internet lately.
The memes.
Trojan, RamZaes, Magnum, Sheik.
If you would also like to support the channel, you can become a YouTube member to get a cool Ram badge and adorable Ramona emoji to use.